his embezzlement allegation. Remember, Rufai has been indicted by his successor, Banza Sani. Now, Banza Sani released a white paper that said this El Rufai looted over 400 billion naira from Kaduna. And they were very specific, including some loans that were taken. And according to them, that were completely siphoned. Yeah, Zero Fire. We're going to come back to there will be in 2027, as he said. Watch this.
Muslim ticket now. Tell me in what way Christians are now shortchanged. Nothing. No leader that wants to succeed will limit his choice of appointees to a particular religion or ethnicity. Okay? If you want to succeed, you have to diversify. Now we have cured the fear and the love for Muslim ticket. It has been done, buried, gone. I did Muslim ticket in Kaduna. I want to know which Christian in Kaduna was shortchanged because of the Muslim ticket. Nothing.
My final question on the issue of Kaduna, so we can move to national issues. At least you say it, and you pose yourself as an upright figure, at least in governance, either when you were in BPP, you were a minister, especially when you were a governor. But in your exit, there's been a lot of criticism. In fact, there are a lot of probes to your 8-year stay in office. And there are accusations about uncompleted projects and the manner in which the affairs of the state was managed. Did you make some errors, or there are those who acted on your behalf, which you think were not properly done? Do you have regrets as to the things that were done under your watch as governor of Kaduna State?
Okay, let me start with that. First of all, I have no regrets whatsoever about my tenure in Kaduna, and I'm very proud of my team and what they did. They did an excellent job. They work 24/7, 365 days a year for the progress of Kaduna State. And anyone that goes to Kaduna will see the difference, and we are proud of that. So I'm very proud of my colleagues that work with me, and I commend them, the work that they have done and their sacrifice. And they were not thieves. They were not crooks. Okay?
What about the allegations of money stolen?
I'm coming. Okay? However, some of the people that we worked with, that we helped, that we campaigned for, that campaigned on the back of our achievements and said they will sustain what we started. They will complete what we have not completed. They will continue on the path we have set for the state, which was the right path. Now came back and started saying things. Okay? A member of the State House of Assembly on your program said 423 billion were siphoned out of the Kaduna State Treasury under my watch. I have sued him and channels because you gave him the platform as a nominal defendant. We're in court. The entire amount of money that Kaduna State got in the 8 years I was governor was about 900 and something billion. Part of it was used to pay salaries, overheads, and run the government. If 423 billion was siphoned out of Kaduna State Treasury, it would not have been possible for us to do all the work that we did. And as I said, even a blind man that goes to Kaduna knows that we have transformed the state in many ways, in every sector. And there is no ward, no local government that we have not invested. And even the governor himself has said this several times before he got elected, but he got there and changed his story. But that's okay. Morally flexible people can do whatever they want. Okay? So, are we perfect? Of course not. We are human beings. When the State Assembly started the probe and people said, go to court, stop it, do that, I said, no. I was governor for 8 years, but I didn't do everything alone. I am also curious to know what each and every one of my commissioners and heads of agencies have done. Let them investigate. Let's see the results. Maybe there are people that we trusted that abused our trust. I want to see the outcome. But I wanted to see a fair process. I wanted to see the hearing taking place in open so that even Kaduna State citizens will hear what happened during our 8 years as governors. But they held the hearings in secret. People were not invited, but they were indicted, and so on. I don't want to say much about this because all these matters are in court. But I want to tell you, John, and I say this without any fear of contradiction. Number one, we ran that state with total commitment to accountability and probity. Number two, we are not thieves. We are not petty thieves. We are not corrupt. And we don't bribe people. We don't bribe the media. We don't bribe civil society to hail us. We worked, and the result is on the ground. And posterity will judge us. And the people of Kaduna State will send a very clear statement in 2027, when the elections come. That will be the answer to all the nonsense going on now.
Give me a breather. We'll take a break, everyone. But when we return...
All right, take a break. Right. So thank you very much to these two individuals. And I don't know if you are going to be comfortable kind of like saying your name. So I got your support. They kind of like came together. Sister Yinka T, and then Lababs. Thank you very much. Do you know why I actually requested for your support? And most of the time, it's always at the end of the month like this. Is because since the YouTube madness and all that has cut down the views and the rest, so is the revenue. And since running this from my own end actually requires a bit of a fortune, right? And once I am like short, it simply means I'm going to be in deficit. I've been in deficit now for months until I have to ask for help. So every penny counts, and every one of it is greatly appreciated. God bless you. Thank you. Right. El Rufai, now going to that 2027, because majority of them believes that 2027 will be the time they will correct their own mistakes. And especially for El Rufai, his greatest mistake was to change his mind at the last minute and switched to Tinubu's side, pulled the string here and there, and indeed, Tinubu became the candidate of AP. And he went as far as campaigning for him. Of course, he didn't deliver his state for Tinubu. And his own defense is that Tinubu himself didn't deliver his own state for himself. So that is not any form of reason to downgrade him or underrate him. So the 2027, his projection then is there will be no clear winner. Everybody can continue to put their permutations together, but from what he has and what they have, right? Tinubu is gone. And he keeps saying that. Now listen to this part.
In my career as a journalist that I've covered, at least in this Fourth Republic, where elections are being talked about 2 years, clear years, before the next election. And you are one of those who caused it. As soon as you left the APC and you started criticizing this government, and you warned that you're going to send President Bola Tinubu back to Lagos, you are going to retire him, there are those who are asking, how would you do that? With a lot of people moving into the APC, there are governors now moving into the APC, and those who say whatever the opposition is doing is gradually and working steadily for Tinubu and the APC returning in 2027.
They can believe what they want to believe. They can engage in self-delusion. They can use the carrot and stick tactics, to to lure governors or intimidate them into joining. Governors that know what they are doing, taking from the till, will have no choice but to join the APC because, when you are in the APC, you are immunized from being investigated for corruption. They will do all that. But at the end of the day, the Nigerian voter will decide based on President Tinubu's performance and the performance of governors. It is not a governor moving to a party that will make that party win elections. I was governor of Kaduna State. I was one of Bola Tinubu's biggest campaigners, but I couldn't deliver the state to him. Bola Tinubu himself couldn't win his state with his own governor in place. So these things are not as theoretical as people want them to be. And if you want to engage in self-delusion, you are free to do so. So I will not tell you how we are going to win, but I tell you very clearly, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, the worst case scenario in the 2027 elections is that no winner will emerge in the first round. We may have to go for runoff. And Bola Tinubu will not be on the ballot for the runoff because he will at best be third in the election. He has no pathway to win. I have done the maths, I have done the analysis. He will be at best third. But he can deceive himself. He may think, oh, I have money. Because they have taken all the money in the country. I have INEC, I have the police, I have the army. You know what, President Tinubu? Invite President Jonathan for a chat and ask him if he didn't have all this in 2015, I would got him out.
Is the case still the same, similar to 2015?
It's
that
worse.
those who will say Tinubu has never lost an election. And it's different as a politician compared to Goodluck Jonathan.
Tinubu has never lost an election. That can be contested, but it's okay. He has never lost an election. He's a political strategist. He's this, he's that. Wait. Nasir Rufai has said, if you want to learn some lessons, invite President Jonathan for a chat over coffee and ask him what happened in 2015. That's all.
If you were made a minister, would you be saying all this thing that you're saying?
If I was made a minister, I would probably have resigned. Once I saw the direction of the government, I would have resigned and I would have said the same thing. People think that this minister is big deal. I was minister when I was 43 years old, 20 years before. They're still talking about what I did in FCT. People forgot that I left the FCT 2007. I left the FCT 18 years ago. Okay? And I have no desire to be minister. I didn't want anything. I've made it very clear. People can come and say all kinds of things, revise history and so on. They are free to do so. As I said, people's opinion of me doesn't make me lose any sleep. I don't care. I know who I am. I know what I am. I sleep well every night. And I don't need anyone to validate me or your criticism to affect me.
Because your disqualification was based on security, that you're a threat, you're a security threat.
Yes.
And that's why.
Yes, and I'm still
around. They couldn't have you in government.
I'm still around.
In my career.
Hell, Rufai, do not little finger. Just this one, right? You don't have to kind of like write it down. Their permutation is for if everything goes well, they are able to, clip Atifku. So their permutation is for Obi Rufai 2027. But you didn't hear that from me. No, you don't. It's not something that you can like bank on, right? But I've heard that repeatedly. And those who are projecting them are not just saying that from the blues. They are saying it from all these happenings of not being meetings, this and that, right? Whether that is going to materialize or not, time shall tell. Abi? So he strongly believes that every political leverage, that's all the leverage that Tinubu think he has, that the ideal thing for him is to call Jonathan and ask him questions. Talking about Jonathan. Remember fraudsters Keyamo. I have a Templar here who is Otobo, and he said he sometimes feels so like right? Unhappy, knowing that Frostos has that middle name as well, which was given to him by me, literally. But there is actually a name Otobo, and now Frostos Sekiyamo released on his own X. He released an advice for PDP concerning their plan to lure Jonathan and Obi to become their either of them to become their presidential candidates in 2027. Now, I'm just going to read it word for word, just, for the sake of this clip, and those who are going to watch this, maybe now, those of you watching, and those who are going to see this later, okay? So Frostos Keyamo he said, let me poke my nose a bit today. The position of PDP is not an enviable one at all. He now kind of painted different scenarios, to back up his observation. He says, scenario one, in 2023, PDP lacked the balls to deliberately zone its presidential ticket to the south, so it woefully lost its decades-long stranglehold on the south and southeast, the two of its most loyal regions since 1999. To correct that, it has now deliberately zoned its 2027 presidential ticket to the south to win back the southern regions into the party. Scenario two, one of its attractive targets as a presidential candidate is ex-President Goodluck Jonathan because of his purported eligibility to run for one term. But if he is fielded, the party runs the risk of not having a candidate at all by virtue of Section 137, subsection 3 of the 1999 Constitution, Fourth Amendment. The constitutional amendment was made after the court judgment, which cleared him to run in 2015. So nothing is decided yet on that new amendment. Hence, I use the word risk advisedly. All the arguments as to whether the section can be interpreted to affect him will not be decided on social media, but at the Supreme Court. If he is barred from running after nominations have closed, and the PDP is cleared to having no candidate, nobody should scream judiciary is corrupt, because such a large party saw the judicial danger ahead and deliberately ignored it. Scenario three. If the PDP decides to field its most attractive Southwest candidate, no other region of the country will vote for a fresh Yoruba candidate who would be eligible for fresh 2 terms in office. And that candidate will battle with the well-oiled APC structures in the Southwest. APC structure, well-oiled. You need a majority of at least 3 to 4 regions in Nigeria to win the presidency. Scenario 4. If the PDP woos back Peter Obi, scenario 3 above will still apply to him. Hence, all is shout of serving 1 term of recent. In addition, the principled ones amongst the obedient will see him as going back to his vomit of structure of criminality and may not be too vociferous in their support anymore. They play. This is happening to PDP because it committed an original sin in 2023 by lacking the balls to zone its presidential ticket to the south. The young social media warriors may lampoon anyone talking about these zoning sentiments, but that is the reality of our politics, and it is not about to end. Except something extraordinary happens. The party may have to wait till 2031. But let me face my work for now. That's Frostos Keyamo advising PDP legally and otherwise that they should, right, not play into their handle and later start saying, court, that's to you, right? In Edo State, where the Okwe Odoyo, the Dodoyo governor of Edo, was celebrating his birthday recently. And yesterday, it was also reported that it was meant to be the last Saturday of the month, which in itself has been dedicated for their Sanitation Day, Environmental Day. Remember that time we did do Environmental Day every last Saturday, I think. And they say it's been reactivated in Edo State. But some people didn't probably take it as serious. And they started picking them on the road. Just like the old days, 30, 35 years ago. I was a child when I used to witness this. Maybe this will bring back some memories for you too. This was in Edo State because they violated the Environmental Day. Watch this.
This truck belongs to.
May they love themselves. May they love themselves. What did I do? What did they do? Why don't you respect yourself? You know what called that? Why don't you respect yourself?
You're fully functional. Huh? You're fully open. We're not fully open. We're not open. The other guy was shouting from the door boy that he should remove the chain and clean the. No, there was no chain. We passed through. You explain to the magistrate. You just explain to the magistrate. Sorry. You explain to the judge.
Come on. No. What do you want to do again? No, go this with so go like that.
Let me change this.
No,
Let's go.
You won't wear shoe? I'm calling you inside this room.
You call your brother. Hey, your brother. Back. Okay. You keep comfortable.
There's always like enter. You enter the car. When you get to the station, you go explain yourself and all that. Hmm? Right. Greg, is that your name? Greg or Greg? Yeah, your observation may be right. No. Your observation is kind of like okay, but no, that is not the reason why. Okay, so usually, I mean, I don't want to be going into the details anyway, but the phone call part of the program, right, on its own, never really attracted the views or the viewers, right? So over the time, if you have been on Mayegun's Diary Political for a while, right, you will remember that we may have like, let's say on YouTube, we may have like 2,500 people watching, right? And then the moment I am like, yeah, so I will be back in a minute to take calls. And then you watch the whole number drop because some people just wanted to listen to Mayegun and, and I have to give it to a lot of you who actually really stayed for the full hours. Okay. So that's why I said that your observation may not be completely out of place, but it's a very good observation. Okay. But again, if you remember what I just said now, if you think of what I just said now, you see that most times when we're like, okay, let's now take calls tonight, and people just, so if you do that with a small like number where you are like under 1,000, right? So imagine